My sweet peas, some of them have started flopping over, meaning that they're more than ready for cutting back to make them a bit bushier. I sowed them in October, and I soak the seeds for half an hour before I plant them 3 in a pot. For me that works well. If you soak them for longer, some suggest you should soak them overnight, you risk drowning your seeds and then they don't germinate. Half an hour should be enough to rehydrate them if the seed is fresh. You might need to soak them for longer if they're older seed, and you can sort of tell from the way they look. If they're really, really dark, hard and small, they might be older seed. So some of them have got a great germination rate, some have maybe less good germination rate. But yeah, I'll get enough definitely. And there's always still time to sow them in spring for any that I'm a bit low on numbers. So I've sown some more, what should you call it, more monochrome tones to use in the garden, and then some more colourful ones to use down here on the allotment. I'm much more freer with colour palettes here. I don't really care so much. Any flower looks good in such a large area, but our garden's so small, you kind of need to have some sort of theme, I think. I mean, either you go just like colour explosion, or you kind of settle on some colours. That's what I think anyway. And we're redesigning the garden, so I really have the time to think about it this time around. I'm not stuck with so many perennial bushes and whatnot that's already there, you know. So I'm pretty excited for that. Anyway, back to sweet peas. So yes, they are looking quite good. I've had to do a lot of slug raids in the greenhouse over winter, and they've obviously loved the sweet peas. And I keep finding these like minuscule little slugs in the pots. And early on in autumn they did quite a lot of damage, and they actually chomped off the sweet peas all the way down to the compost. But they didn't kill the plant, obviously. They'll just come up with new shoots, and they've done that. So those ones have sort of already been cut back ones and have already tillered, you know, sent up different shoots. So that's pretty cool. But I might need to cut some of them back. You can cut back sweet peas several times, you know. It's sort of the same thing when you take the flowers. It keeps the plant producing more shoots. So yeah, I'm gonna do that today, and yeah, just have a look around in there. Might need to pull some weeds. Yeah. There's one of my trays of sweet peas. I have 2 of these trays, and I have 6 types of sweet peas growing. And I've actually only watered them once since I planted them, and that was in December. But I see now that 2 of the pots are starting to look dry on top compared to this one that's still black, meaning it's not, and you can tell it's wet, right? This one is starting to dry, so this needs a bit of water. And some of them have grown quite a lot and needs cutting back now. So you should go as low as you can go, basically. And this bit that I cut off, I can actually put into damp soil and get more plants that way. However, I don't have space at the moment. Maybe if the other greenhouse had been up, I could have done it, but I've already maxed out on space. It's a shame, really, but yeah, it feels like such a waste, but it isn't. So these are the ones, for example, that were nibbled by slugs, and you can tell, can you? There's like a little piece there. That's where the original one was, but it's just the seeds just pull out 2 more shoots. And it's a similar story with the other ones. So these ones don't need cutting back yet anyway, so they're fine. And that's a variety. High scent. So I've got almost black, which has had a reasonable germination. The high scent has done quite well, nearly 100%, and Wild Italian has done exceptionally well. So that one is from the seed cooperative, and it's seed I bought for the last season, and they were amazing. They're these bi-coloured purple and pink ones. Absolutely gorgeous. So highly scented as well. And the seeds are amazing. I actually saved some as well because there was just so many. And but these are the old ones that I bought. So yeah, very good quality. The other ones I've got are color mix, which is just like pinks and whites and light blues, pastels basically. And then there's Black Knight, and then Turquoise Lagoon, which is, this is the pot with the best germination. Really poor. There's one without nothing in, sorry, without anything in, and then yeah, really bad. But the two seed packets from the seed cooperative, which was the Wild Italian and the color mix, I mean, they're 100% and they're really vigorous. So it just shows that fresh seed, and they pride themselves on having fresh seed, is just worth so much. So if you grow sweet peas, save your own seed. It's very simple and you'll have no problems growing them forever and ever, and it's so much better for the environment too. But yes, I've got a pair of snippers that I obviously left out in the rain, but they still work. They're just easier to snip it, but if you have long nails you can do that. But yes, right. And yeah, as I said, as low as you dare. And these ones that I have already tillered, it just shows you like where you should snip them back to. So I'll probably go to the second lot of leaves and snip them there. Let's see. Let me see that. Bop. So the reason why you do snip them back, partly to control their growth this time of year. It's too early for them to get that big. I mean, they were starting to need something to climb up. They were already sending out those tendrils, you know, and it's just not the time for that right now. So partly you control their growth this way, and partly you're forcing the plant to produce more shoots. They will produce shoots by themselves, but you force them to produce more by snipping them back. One of the consequences is, though, that you get more blooms, but maybe smaller blooms. So if you want the really large, showy flowers on them, then don't snip them back. And try to avoid the slugs doing it for you. But yeah, if you just want those masses, it's a good idea to do this. So I just got one more tray to do. And then I just need to water them. So this is of Black Knight, and the germination has been quite poor here. And I just see a casualty from last night, so there must be still slugs here. I thought they weren't going to be out because it was quite cold, but yeah, I do need to check on them like every night. But yeah, the germination's been quite poor, so I'm going to strip the leaves of this one. And I'm going to poke it into the side here. I do have some rooting powder as well, so see if I can find that. But you don't want to wait too long, because then the shoot will dry out. See? I thought I had some rooting powder, but I can't find it now, so I'll just stick it in the side of this one. So just make a hole. Chopstick works quite well as a dibber, and then just put it in there, and then we hope for the best. Makes it a little bit sad, doesn't it? And it smells rather pea-like, but they're definitely not for eating. Right, now I just have to find some water. It should be defrosted enough, I think, to get some water into the watering cans. I might take them outside to do that, because I don't want water to get onto the pots of dahlias that I have stored underneath here, because when they get wet they start growing. Basically, I think it's spring. Actually, looking at it now, I'd say the whole greenhouse needs a bit of a water. Some of the plants are looking a little bit sad, and it's dry on top. It's not completely dry, but yeah, might as well do it now. I've got everything out of here and I can actually access it.